After finding moderate success with The Evil Within and its sequel, Tango Gameworks would take a different approach to the medium with Ghostwire Tokyo. Less visceral and more psychological, replacing monstrous creations with folklore yokai and swapping survival horror for open world exploration, this ghostly adventure sees 9th gen hardware being utilised to attempt something genuinely unique. After launching initially for the PlayStation 5 in 2022, Xbox Series owners would finally see this one a little over a year later, with new content through the Spider's Thread update. Even 13 months later, few games look or feel like this one, and although some issues detract from its overall quality, there's still a lot of fun to be had. Akito Izuki, desperately trying to ride to his sister on a motorcycle, soon encounters a paranormal phenomenon that takes over Tokyo. As a sinister fog engulfs the area, people are turned into spirits and captured by entities known as visitors. However, Akito is spared this fate thanks to the intervention of KK, a floating spirit needing a vessel to fight back against a mysterious Hanya mask-clad man who appears to be at the centre of this spiritual invasion, though Akito doesn't always prove the most willing participant, as shown by his desire to visit his critically ill sister first. Thus, the journey begins to find the means and allies to combat the visitors, while getting to the centre of Hanya's dark plot, and how that may tie back to Akito and his sister. Thus begins an action-adventure taking place in the Tokyo sandbox. It must be said that Tango has crafted a gorgeous, atmospheric world to explore. There's a haunting loneliness here, as all human life is reduced to detached spirits, and all that remains is animal life, ghosts, and yokai. Real-life locations such as Shibuya Scramble are realised in great detail, including an explorable underground, but feel tinged with an uneasy sense of the paranormal. This is accompanied by a great soundtrack, including the flute-led battle theme, which adds a sense of panic to encounters, and more ambient tracks for exploration. There is a charming quirkiness to the whole thing, as psychedelic ghost trips warp the world, and freaky apparitions collide with being able to pet and read the mind of dogs. The world feels appropriately sized, with plenty of terrain to explore, but less of the bloat stifling competing games. Navigation proves enjoyable, thanks to Akito's glide abilities which, when combined with the updraft talismans that propel you into the sky, gift an aerial advantage when travelling around the city. Ghostwire Tokyo has you combating visitors with a mix of stealth and magic-infused combat. Akito, when in an undetected state, can take out enemies using stealth kills that sound oddly loud, but manage to keep you hidden. If all else fails, you can utilise attacks powered by hand gestures based on 3 elemental disciplines. Wind attacks serve as your fast strike, water has a shorter range but deals potent damage, and fire can one-shot certain enemies but has limited ammo. All can be charged to perform a different attack, such as charging fire to conjure explosive blasts. A plethora of upgrades earned through XP allows you to tweak further, like being able to turn your wind attack into a machine gun-esque motion after charging. It works well for the most part, offering a unique spin on first-person shooting, though accuracy can be affected by slowdown during more crowded fights, and this causes issues with response times, though various visual modes can circumvent this. It sounds like Ghostwire has all the tools for success, but the issues come with the story thread itself. The main story takes little over 10 hours, and sadly grows quite repetitive early on. A good chunk of the game focuses on the same task, as you're forced to cleanse gates to clear fog, which blocks your travel across the city, and it grows dull after the first few times. The story starts off mighty intriguing and benefits from strong voice work in both Japanese and English, but struggles to enter a higher gear. Although interesting side characters enter the fray, it feels like there's little time for them to develop. The side missions, conversely, tap into the quirky nature of the setup very well. Often seeing you help spirits struggling to move on, it has you partaking in a variety of odd activities. Whether it's entering the dwellings of a hoarder, playing hide and seek with a child spirit, or fetching roll for a spirit stuck on the toilet, they successfully tap into the weirder side of the paranormal and genuinely keep you guessing where it will take you next. There's a plethora of content here too, even with a relatively shorter main story. With over 40 side missions available, seeking out yokai spirits to harvest Magatama to unlock certain upgrades, finding collectible relics to trade into literal fat cat merchants, and hundreds of spirit clumps to rescue, you could easily spend close to 50 hours polishing everything off. This doesn't factor in the Spider's Thread update, which launched alongside the Xbox Series version. It adds content to the main game, which includes new side missions, additional enemy spirits to encounter, and a new explorable school location, which is as creepy as you'd expect. There's also an additional mode named after the update, which puts a roguelite spin on Ghostwire Tokyo, as death sees you sent back to the first floor of randomly generated rooms, but certain aspects carry over, such as skills unlocked. It takes a while to wrap your head around, but proves a full-featured edition that is all the sweeter for being free. Ghostwire Tokyo proves a unique experience which stands out amongst other competing titles, even if not every element is executed perfectly. Visually eye-catching, it boasts an enjoyable world to explore, and unique combat, even if some technical issues can get in the way. It's just a shame the core story isn't hugely compelling, especially once repetition sets in around the midpoint of the game. However, the side content, which offers more interesting threads to untangle and problems to explore, proves worthwhile, and the core parts of this create a mostly enjoyable gameplay loop. If you're looking for something slightly off-kilter, and a break from the norm of other open world games, then Tango's third outing should satisfy.